You're listening to ArTEEtude, a podcast with artists created and produced by Detlef Schlich, a visual artist and ritual designer, living and loving in West Cork, and best known for his essay about the cause and effect of shamanism, art and digital culture. Working in the field of performance, photography, painting, sound, installations, and film, he will dive and discover with us and a weekly creative guest into the unknown and exciting deep ocean of the creative mind.
This is Detlef Schlich, and today we dive into the deep, exciting ocean, unexpected ocean of the creative mind, together with Lou McMahon. Louisa McMahon. It is great. I'm getting better. She is a contemporary indie folk artist from County Clare, singer-songwriter, media music composer, session vocalist, cultural reporter from County Clare as well. And we were covering in the first part last week a little bit her background, just a little bit her background, where she was coming from, and how she came to music making, which is always, I love that, always to hear that from people as well. So yeah. Hi, Lou. Hello.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me again.
Yeah.
You're not sick of me.
No. That's quite great. So, what was the name of the village from County Clare where you were growing up?
It's called 6 Mile Bridge. Six Mile Bridge in County Clare, yeah. Not too far from Ennis.
I'm not sure now if I used to be there. Is there a B&B, a very lovely B&B close to it, with a very little tiny stream, river next to the B&B?
Yes, there's probably a few like that. Well, the 6 Mile Bridge is home to the Shannonside Winter Music Festival, if you've ever been to that.
No.
But we're quite near Bunratty also. There's a lot of B&Bs. There's a lot of B&Bs, but the village does have a river that flows through it.
I think
there is a B&B.
What is the name of the next village from 6 Mile Bridge?
There'd be Cratloe, there'd be Kilmurray, and there'd be Bunratty.
Such a long time ago. It's almost already 20 years ago. So I can't remember. Yeah.
Well, Bunratty is a kind of a tourist town. So if you have been touring around as a tourist, you most likely have gone there. There's an old castle there.
No, but we have in Gulleen, we have a pub called Bunratty in
Folk Park, and then there's Craiganoan nearby as well.
Yeah. No, but the Bunratty Inn is in Skull.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It is in Skull. Yes. So cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So you did a lot of competitions in your little village, and your parents, they support you a lot.
Yeah.
And that was the way you came actually to music. And I mean, Lou is one of the lucky persons who's not afraid to sing. She loves it to sing, and I mean, it's
yeah, great. I always have. I would say that I'm not completely unafraid. There's always a nerve. There's always nerves there. It's just what I really want to do. So especially with the digital age and technology and things like that, there's always a nerve of the nerve issue of putting yourself in a live performance online, which is the way everything has gone now. I mean, there's other performers like Lou McMahon and Roisin Murphy. They're all performing their weekly gigs online. They would have been touring in theaters and things like that, you know. And I've been trying it myself, but there are occasions where you go, oh my God, am I actually doing this right? Because it's so new, you know. We all have to adapt so quickly when COVID hit as well to this new way of delivering our wares and what we do to the world, you know.
That's very interesting because a friend of mine, she is the singer and booker and manager of a Queen cover band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She'll like my story then.
yeah. Called the Kings and Queens.
Okay, very good. Yeah.
And I will tell her about our encounter. She will be delighted that you over recorded the tape of your parents with Queen. What you can listen, dear listener, in the first part. Where they're amused, actually, not really.
Yeah.
You probably laugh.
Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. Now back to the show.
Well, I was very ambitious when I was young, obviously.
That's great. But it looks like that you've been not afraid to use technology in order to.
Oh yes, because of the Fisher Price tape recorder. Yeah, I was destined to be in a studio.
Yeah. Okay, and back to my friend who is a cover singer in the Queen cover band, because she has problems with the situation a lot, and she doesn't really she can't really cope with the situation very well. The situation to use technology and being not on stage, you know. So for her it's very difficult to sing without an audience.
Mm-hmm. It can be. I find that when you're performing to an audience, you have a sort of an energy in the room, and you can see their faces, and you can see if they're enjoying it, you can see if they're not enjoying it, and it's not a vampire thing where you feed off other people's energy. It's not the same as that, but you do have a mutual energy with each other, and I think it brings the performance forward. When you're performing at home or in a broadcast studio without an audience, you sort of have to, it's different. It's really, really different without an applause. Like, I remember the one thing that I could compare it to was I was on tour in Europe, and I played in Vienna in this beautiful little venue. It was just not that bigger than the room I'm sitting in right now. Okay. And there was a grumpy old lady living overhead, and the house was full, and the grumpy old lady just does not like the sound of hand clapping. So she put a rule in place with the venue that all the gigs can go ahead so long as nobody claps their hands.
That's quite difficult.
So at a room full of people, nobody was allowed to respond to the songs, but instead of clapping, they did this. So after every song I did, everyone went, and there was complete silence. It was so weird. It was so weird, but beautiful and brilliant. I loved it, actually. I loved it.
Did that work?
It did. It sort of built it gave the gig a sort of a humorous edge where everyone felt a bit ridiculous. And when they were doing it, I was doing it as well from the stage, and everyone was just waving at each other at a point. But that was lovely. Yeah, it was a little venue called Verine 08. Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful. But at least that was something. I mean, when you're performing in the room, I suppose in a similar way, when you see people connect on the social media, so when you're doing a live on Facebook or on Instagram or any of these, you can see the number of people who are tuned in, and people can send you messages, and the messages come up as you're performing. So in a sense, you know, you do get some kind of reaction. It's just different, and you have to adapt to it, I suppose, as a performer.
That's very interesting. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Because I mean, I saw that sometimes that people try to even DJs and they interact with people, and it is somehow a weird thing. I mean, I still didn't do a live podcast. I mean, it's multitasking, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is. It is. It's sort of, yeah. That's another side to it that I personally find a bit difficult as well, is actually having to take care of the technological aspect of your performance and perform at the same time. You know, making sure it's recording and making sure it's working all the way through with the signal and everything. Yeah, it takes a lot from.
But you're good at that as well, aren't you? I can imagine.
I'm pretty tech savvy, but I mean, it's with COVID, it came upon us, didn't it? So I didn't have any studios really set up for that kind of broadcast, you know. So I just had to act quickly. I mean, I showed you this earlier. I broke the clip. I broke the clip for holding my phone on the stand. So I sellotaped.
Just tell the listeners what you did. Yeah. So.
I sellotaped a glass to a tripod, and I put my phone into the glass to record everything, as you can see it here. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, yeah. How did it work? I mean, how was the sound of the phone?
It's so. I have an iPhone 6. It's not the greatest. I think.
That's okay. It's good.
I think the important thing is in this situation is the room you're in. Trying to
absolutely
pad it out so that it's not so reverberant, and just get on with it. Yeah, that's it really.
I mean that's a great thing nowadays. Everything works somehow, isn't it? I mean, the technology is so advanced already that even I filmed my first act from the opera was a gimbal and my iPhone 6, you know.
Yes, and it works fine.
It works great. I mean, even in 4K if you want, you know. But then I made the decision and stepped back to HD. So
right.
But I must say now I've got my iPhone 12 and I'm so happy with it. It's
that's meant to be a good one for filming and things. Yeah,
it is. Like I say, so I'm just filming here as well. The situation with my iPhone, and I have an application where I have one side to the screen and the other side on myself. You know, so it's a little bit similar, like that what you see if you have Skype, share Skype, and you know. So but I don't want to bore the listeners too much with technology, but it is. I mean, I think it's still interesting though. So to explain, let's say, people who are not working in creative environments, with which issues we creatives have to deal as well. You know, I mean, with this multitasking thing, for instance. Sometimes I'm good at that. Sometimes I'm just exhausted, you know, if it comes even to a podcast. I mean, I must say, as I had my reflection about my first 20 episodes, it was great. I had my candle, I had my glass of wine, you know, and it was a completely different situation than when I have a talk guest, you know. But I must say, so I just finished that last week or whatever. I've learned from that as well, you know, because I told myself, Detlef, I mean, if you are so relaxed with yourself, try to be as well on the same way relaxed if you have a talk guest, you know, because it is actually nothing else but the difference is
talk.
It's a talk. You are on high voltage. Your time is somehow as well restricted. By the way, restricted. I would like a look already. And yeah, I mean we all already again at the end of the second part, which was flying by. But I still would like to hear another song of you maybe. And I was wondering which one we should present now to the listeners.
I think we'll go with Wide-Eyed Lady. It's from the same EP. It's also been remixed and remastered, produced by Terry Woods, and it's very dramatic and sort of dark and ethereal. There's a nice groove to it though, and you can listen to it on YouTube as well. So it's up online as well. So if you like it, you can tune back in.
yeah, that's great. So I would say, dear listeners, enjoy the Wild-Eyed Lady. See you in a minute again. Bye-bye.
Yay. Bye.
I'm spent, oh Lord, I'm spent chemical smile is spreading her despair. Wide-eyed lady, where sleeps you tonight? When all your running's over, who lays down beside, who lays down beside?
Yeah, great song. Thank you very much. That was
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That was the Wild-Eyed Lady from Lou McMahon, and I would say I say already very, very, very thank you very much for this talk. I mean, we didn't came very far, to be honest. Now, such 20 minutes. It is time flies. It's ridiculous, and I wonder where we start.
Time does fly. Yeah.
Where we start and where we're gonna end in a next Sunday. And that's the great thing, you know. I mean, you don't have a producer in your background was gonna and said, "Oh, you have to do this and to do that," you know. So that's why I love my podcast and why I love.
Yeah. It's a great name as well, ArTEEtude. It's great.
You like it?
Yeah.
That's nice. Thank you. I mean, it's as well. You see, I forget all the time to do a little bit self promotion. ArTEEtude, I started actually now with my web shop, and I started now because it's not anymore West Cork's first address for art, fashion, and the podcast for West Cork art, fashion, and design. It is now West Cork's first address for art, fashion, design, and podcast.
Hi.
Yeah. So I just start to work with my designs and with my designs ideas and even art ideas to set up a merchandising shop where you, dear listeners, can go if you want and buy a mug or a t-shirt or whatever. I mean, it is the idea came up. The idea came up because it's all for a reasonable price, you know, and you can wear it, and you don't have to buy. You have to spend millions for my paintings, you know. So you get a piece of art for a reasonable price, I would say, you know. So
a reasonable price.
Yeah.
Yeah, a fair price.
as well, if you
millions one day.
You never know.
Eventually.
Yeah. That's great. Thank you very much for giving us the second song. It was really very nice, and I would say I see you.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening.
I see you next Sunday.
Yes. I'm excited.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
You have listened to ArTEEtude, West Cork's first art, fashion and design podcast. ArTEEtude, never so close again. That was too close.